Hello, welcome to the Everyday Players podcast, Game Week 11, with your host, Matthew Chan, the secret author and secret sponsor with Matty Cash, Tony Buxton.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome.
Big Serve Barry, Ryan Chan.
Good evening, everyone.
And Spider-Man, Toby Millward.
Yes. How are we?
Yeah, we're all good. What about yourself? Our secret guest?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having me on. Pleasure, as always.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued by this name, Spider-Man. I want to know some history and background over this name, Spider-Man.
I'll tell you what it is. I've got a bit of a confession, actually, Toby. Years ago, do you know when we were playing Wolverhampton cricket?
Yes.
Well, obviously you joined us and you came on, for a bit of a medium-pace swing bowling.
Wasn't that good?
Well, I was captain and they were asking me, what's that Toby's surname? And all I remember, my dad going on about Toby Maguire because he's the actor for Spider-Man at the time, with Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, do you know who the actor is now of Spider-Man? Tom Holland, who it looks like him. It's his twin, isn't it? He's got Spider-Man links, that lad.
Shocking.
Hey, that's a good one.
I'll take it.
Wait,
I've had worse.
That's it. I literally thought that was your name for a year or two.
I'll take that, happily. I mean, I was expecting a bit of a different story there when I heard Spider-Man, but that was out for me.
Disappointed.
About what was going to be said.
Right, okay.
No, very PG.
Well, gentlemen, in a week where, we had some big headline players like Cavani, Mahrez, Ward-Prowse, Bowen, Lookman, and Wilson and Joe Linton as well. And then, of course, the game, Villa-Newcastle game called off. The cough on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. Gentlemen, how's it gone this week, Ryan?
Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish, honestly. I've never, let fantasy football get to me as much as what it did, to be honest. I was absolutely fuming, literally, ruined my weekend. Do you want me to go on? Do you want me to explain how bad it was?
Yeah,
more.
Right, so basically, as everyone knows, we played 2 head-to-head leagues. So I played against Ainsley and Lewis Taylor. Started off by Friday night, Ainsley had Callum Wilson and Fernandez, right? So majority of the game, he was on for 7 points. I thought, yeah, you know what, I'll take that. 88th minute, Wilson scores. Fuming, absolutely fuming. He always scores against me. 2 minutes later, only sets up Joe Linton again. So obviously, he gets 12 points. So I'm 17 behind there. So yeah, not a good start. And then obviously the next game, the early kick-off with the Brighton-Liverpool game. Jota gets assisted by Salah. Louis Taylor has Jota. Bearing in mind, I'm in a 4v4 against Louis Taylor. And Ainsley has Salah, so already I'm down. A little bit lucky with the Brighton goal at the end, because at one point I was 34-0 down against Ainsley. I was absolutely fuming. Thought the game week's done before it's even started. So anyway, as it goes on, I'm thinking, you know what? I need my Man City players to do well here. Get to 2:00. Who's on the bench? Sterling. Absolutely fuming. I've had that bastard in my team for about 3 weeks now, literally, for this game week and the next. And he's on the bench. Fucking Pep Guardiola, absolutely gutted, right? And then to make it worse, Louis Taylor has Torres who scores, brings him off straight away. So that game's as good as done. So yeah, absolutely fuming. Bearing in mind, I'm watching a Borough game as well as it while this is going on. So I'm fuming with 3-2 for Huddersfield. And then it comes to Sunday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my emotions intact. I'm not gonna get too involved. Anyway, Bruno I had him as captain. He pulls me out the shit in a way. He gets me ahead of Ainsley. I don't know how he doesn't get at least one bonus from Vestergaard. Yeah, fair enough. He scored 1. He conceded.
Bednarek, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bednarek. Sorry, yeah. He conceded 3 goals and got one bonus. Absolutely shocking. So yeah, a little bit fuming with that. But then, the game with Louis Taylor was done. Came down to Ainsley, right? And he has 1 player left, and I've got 2, and he's got Gabriel. So in my head, I'm thinking, right, and all I need is Wolves to score, and I've won the game here. I'll just need 1 point. So get in, 27th minute, get in. They've scored goals. In my head, I'm thinking, right, 3 points. Where they're going to take me in the league here? 3 minutes later, he's gone up the other end and scored. Absolutely couldn't believe it. Honestly, you couldn't believe it, and it just summed my game week up. And anyway, yeah, lost. So lost my head. The weekend was garbage, and lost both games. Fuming.
Brilliant. I enjoyed that. It was a better story than the rest, that, mate.
That was really good, that.
A lot of passion. A lot of passion
in that. If you asked me this on Saturday, it wouldn't have been, it just wouldn't have been
PG rated.
Yeah. PG rated, yeah. So, yeah, there's my team. 54 points.
Talk us through that team.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I had Fernandez captain who got me 20, as I just said. Grealish got me 10 at the end. I brought in Ruben Diaz because I thought, they've got 2 decent games and then a few more decent games. It was a toss-up between Diaz and Cancelo, but to be honest, obviously I'm glad I got Diaz because I was just thinking of that rotation risk with Cancelo. So that, I'd have been even more fuming if I picked Cancelo. But yeah, apart from that, everyone pretty rubbish, really. Zuma, 5. Yeah, a lot of the back line. All the 3 strikers, Kane, Calvert-Lewin, Bamford, 2. So, yeah, all in all, rubbish.
I'm very sorry for you, mate. I want you to know if you want to talk, I'll talk to you. Like, we're mates. I feel bad for you. It was tough to take.
Well, to be honest...
Chin up, mate. Chin up.
It's the only time I've actually deleted the tab off my Safari and left it off.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to look at it. I didn't look at it for about 10 hours. I was asleep.
Well, you beat me. You got about 8, I think. 8 hours, and then that was back on.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, no good. So, I'm in a bit of a debate now whether to keep Sterling, like, literally for this game week or to replace him with De Bruyne. And then, like, also thinking about Salah as well. Whether I might get him instead of Sterling or De Bruyne after that. And then, obviously, with Grealish, I'm thinking... do a stick or twist with him. But I think I'm going to stick with Grealish. Actually, I'll end up playing Kilman, I think.
Well, that's the main talking point. Obviously, the Villa Newcastle game called off because of COVID, the first one of this year. Grealish and Callum Wilson. I think they're the 2 prime candidates on who to replace. So, what do you think then, Toby and Tony, on Grealish? Would you keep him? Would you sell him? Do you have him?
Yeah. Villa. So it's just sort of killed me for this game week, really. I've already comprehensively made the Sterling to KDB switch 42 minutes into the game against Burnley. I was raging. Later to find out, obviously, the Villa game's called off. But for me, double game week's going to be there, and the fixtures are class, to be fair, aren't they? Grealish likely to be on pens now. Watkins will be, Watkins missed 2 now, hasn't he? 2 pens, I think.
Yeah, he's missed.
So I'll be probably looking to get rid of Watkins for maybe Wilson at a later date, but yeah, I've got my target as well. I'll be swapping him out.
What about this man? Have you thought about getting this man in for the Villa? Matty Cash?
Well, there's no point this weekend anyways.
No, I mean following, since we were talking about Villa. I'm not talking about Villa and not having Matty Cash get left out of it. We're talking about Villa, we're talking about Matty Cash.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Go on. Right.
But
Go on.
Target. I didn't exactly want to copy, you see, so I would have went for Cash, but I thought target, swap to the other side. Possible attacking threat. But for me, keeping Grealish. Sorry for the internet issues there.
Oh, that's all right.
I agree. If obviously I don't have Grealish or Wilson, but I think unless you have like 2 free transfers and you don't need any other players, there'd be no point in taking them out just for that one game week that they're going to miss.
Yeah.
As you've mentioned, Sean, Grealish's price increasing as well, so better off keeping them in. I actually wanted Wilson. I was you're going to laugh at me. I've went on about this mighty midfield for ages, right? I'm already debating
Blowing
taking
it up.
one of them out so that I could get Wilson in. I was going to go for like a sexy fifth midfielder, like Lookman or Jared Bowen, which you also mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, because the cheap as Lookman goal and assist in his last 2 games, Jared Bowen goal and assist in his last game. Cheap as a bag of chips. Get yourself a better striker. So I was debating doing that with Wilson, but I don't think I can, because I think him and all his teammates are poorly, aren't they?
Yeah, do you know what the funny thing about Wilson is? He's actually the 4th most transferred in this game week.
Yeah.
It's absolutely mad.
Everyone jumping on early.
People must have already
possibly.
done it, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's you pay the price of the early transfer then, don't you?
Massively.
yeah, exactly.
Massively.
Like Toby, ask Toby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
42nd minute, so yeah.
one thing we're forgetting actually with Villa is that they missed their first game as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So literally, they're going to have 2 double game weeks.
Forgot
Potentially
about that.
a triple game. I don't think they will do a triple game week, but 2 double game weeks. So it is probably worth keeping him. Could even be a captaincy shout when it comes round.
Yeah.
Obviously, and there's no easy replacement. Obviously, say Ziyech, Rodriguez, Saha. Two of them cost more. Saha's like got COVID at the moment. You got Ward-Prowse, and then Jota. But he's got a hard game this week, to be honest, against Wolves.
Yeah.
I think he is the most popular choice as a Grealish replacement. 30% have actually gone to Jota, 27 with Mahrez. And then a couple of people, upgrading Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes, the next 2.
Yeah.
Right,
One of my main questions I've actually got for you, 3 boys.
Yeah.
With Jota in good form, can you drop him? And would you ever say replace him for, say, Salah and spread your funds elsewhere? Or is Salah just a set and forget throughout the season? Is that him just in forever, just sort of ride it out? Or
I think I'll answer first. It's crossed my mind, actually, just to replace Salah for Jota. When they play Fulham next week, I was just going to do a transfer of De Bruyne to Salah, but I might just drop like Ziyech to Jota and I can keep De Bruyne because I want him the week after when they play West Brom.
Yeah.
I don't know what about you lads.
No, I can't stand Jota. I hate his posture. The problems he's causing me. Klopp needs to be very careful with what he's doing, benching Mane and taking Salah off after 60 minutes. Like, Jota can score, but like Salah and Mane can score loads more and will keep scoring loads more. And just because Jota gets a few goals, like, that's great, but don't start playing him over Salah, who I need to carry me every game week as well. Coming off after 6 minutes, make me question my whole captaincy now. Don't like him. I wish he never signed. I wish he stayed at home and just pissed right off.
He's the man in form, though.
No, I don't care. I don't care. Like, them 2 will be in form the whole season. You don't need to change it. Forget it. Let him play against bloody Crawley in the FA Cup or something.
Yeah, I think I've always been quite reluctant to of getting Jota. I've mentioned a few times in previous podcasts, but now I don't know if you see. Well, I tweeted midweek saying it's sort of a case that if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm just seeing him score so much and I'm missing out on some crucial points. And I suppose you can spread the money if you've got like a good plan. It's just whether occasionally, you might get that rotation risk, which if you're willing to accept, then just do it if you've got a good squad.
Yeah.
It's a good debate.
That's fine. And
going to be said. Like, surely someone's getting said even already off that one game. Like, them 2 players are not going to be happy.
No.
Well, did you see Salah when he came off? He was fuming, wasn't he? He was almost as fuming as me.
I know. I was.
Impossible.
Unreal, man.
So then, obviously, touching on Wilson a little bit, what we're thinking on him, because he's the other big asset that's out. Keep or sell? What do you think? Any replacement? Do you know what I'm thinking of? Possible replacement for 1 week?
Yeah.
Chris Wood.
All right.
At home against Everton. Bit cheaper, 6 million. He loves heading the ball at Turf Millward, doesn't he? He loves it.
I suppose he is a bit of a threat. I mean, I know in previous seasons, I can't remember exactly how much he scored, but I know he's always in the teens sort of thing, and he is quite dangerous. And Everton, defensively, not the best. So, it's a brave shout, but it's one that might pay off.
Nah, it's a shit shout. He's awful. I can't stand him. Remember a couple of years ago, I had
Here
a
we
bet
go.
with who was he at? Leeds.
Leeds, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was for like a good chunk of money. And last minute, he got the ball 4 yards out and he kicked his own horrible long leg and missed the ball. Never forgive him for that. Shit.
Back to your point there about Wilson, someone who I've sort of been eyeing up, but probably not going to bite the bullet. I've been looking at Chelsea, and from what I've seen, it's sort of playing a 4-3-3. Werner's sort of out on the wing. Abraham through the middle. I know Giroud was class last night, but I don't think Giroud's still going to pip Tammy for the front spot. And he's only 7.2 mil.
Yeah.
So if you've got that bit of spare cash, I think, well, Chelsea look frightening going forward, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think Abraham's thereabouts. He's a goal scorer. So I was sort of keeping that in him.
Yeah, he's in good form, isn't he? Scores against like lower opposition, people like that. What were you going to say, Tony?
Yeah, I agree with that. I was looking at that myself. I love Giroud, prefer him over Tammy, but Lampard's always going to play Tammy, I think, in the Prem, well, as it stands anyway. Yeah. And I was debating Tammy myself. It was only after Wilson scored a couple more goals the way I decided, actually, I'm going to get Wilson instead of Tammy. But Tammy was my plan as my next striker.
Yeah. He's gone a little bit under the radar, hasn't he? I mean, everyone's Wilson or Bamford, or if they go on Chelsea, they go on Werner, without picking Tammy. So he has gone quite under the radar. And if he does get, if he does score and you do have him, he'll boost your overall rank, definitely.
What we're saying about Wilson, though, I kind of like Wilson just in terms of he's the sort of talisman for Newcastle, isn't he? I sort of like having the key player from each team.
The main
and
man.
I think he's got the most bonus points out of anyone, 13 bonus points. So, I think.
I guess it's like that.
Keeping, I guess.
He's doing brilliant, isn't he? We sort of touched on him at the very beginning of the season. I started with him in my team at the beginning of the season, him and Ryan Fraser, but obviously they came out quite early on. But we not predicted, but we sort of like hoped and discussed it, whether he was going to do as well as the Geordie fans thought it was going to, and he's been pretty
kicked on, hasn't he?
Yeah,
definitely. And now we were specialising on our special guest today, Toby. So just go through your team a little bit. Obviously, we're just trying to get
take
a bit
it
of
off the screen. Take it off the screen. I don't want to see it.
We'll talk a bit about your obviously tactics as well. Like, do you get like the players in form, or do you like going for an early trend? Do you captain people? Just the main premium players, or do you like going for a bit of a differential? Go on then, talk us through that team and talk us through a bit of your head-to-head tactics.
So, obviously, my team on the screen there, 44 -4. McCarthy's been set and forget, and I think, in all honesty, I'll just leave him throughout the whole season. It was either, like you've said in your podcast, it was either him or Ryan from the start, and I've just picked him, and it sort of worked. Justin got him in early. I think his price is still rising. Still worried about him getting replaced for Pereira, because I think he's back in training soon. So he might get swapped out. So keeping an eye on him. Target simply for run of games, not form. I looked at their run of games. It sort of bit me on the arse, really. Chilwell with 8. He's been class. Just seems to be playing as like a left wing, really, in the attack. He's always at the back post. Walker Peters picking up points. He didn't actually start this game. He got subbed off for Sterling, which I've spoke to Ryan about on the phone, and it was just an absolute killer seeing him not even come on. Like, I thought maybe even 60 minutes come on and bang a goal or something. Son rode it out with him with 3. Everyone was shipping him out with Kane, and I just thought I'd stick with him because it's like you said on the podcast, he can score in any game, big games, and he's seen that with Man City. Grealish there, 10 sort of focal points of the team, and I probably drop on Penners now with Watkins missing, so I'll probably keep him. Salah was 6, Vardy with 10. Lucky brought him in due to a run of fixtures that looked decent. He just got an assist late on. Watkins, I just want to skip that. Calvert-Lewin, 2. And that was that, really. Watkins, I didn't even watch the game. It came down to my final game with Luke Fleming, and we were actually thinking about just playing a free hit. and just getting the exact same team, just to take a point each, because our mental health was taking a bit of a battering. But no, we decided to battle it out, and no sort of collusion and match fixing. And yeah, from what I heard, he missed the penner, didn't he? And then there was another chance he could have got a penner, and it didn't happen. So yeah, bad week.
Yeah, he scored actually as well. They controversially disallowed on VAR.
Oh, well,
with
brilliant!
the
Hear that, Matt?
lines.
Yeah, didn't hear that one. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you. But yeah, just a poor week.
Oh, that's great. And then, how are you doing in the league as well? So, are you happy with your performance, or
dropping like a stone? Dropping like a stone.
So there you are in 12th. But you're not far. 15 points. You're the same as Ryan, just a bit lower down on overall points. How are you feeling on that?
Do you know what? It's probably where I deserve to be. I took a -12 against Reece Lenham and somehow won. So I probably should be lower than that. I've just been so... I think the past... I had to check through my team, and out of the last, obviously, 10 game weeks, I've basically took a hit. I've just took a hit in every one apart barring 2. Yeah. So -4s here and there aren't happening.
Gone against the advice of Liam Taylor, one of the key men in the league, and he knows his stuff. So he knows his stuff.
He does. He beat me in the playoff semis last year, so I should be listening to him really. But yeah, seemed to sort of be biting me on the bottom.
So how have you done in the league actually? Because me and Ryan were discussing. Have you got the playoffs every year, or what's your best?
Well, I don't know. I get the playoffs every year mainly. Obviously, the top 8, and then just there, it's just a case who's the best on the day, really. But yeah, I like to sort of keep all my chips for the last couple of game weeks. So this game week, especially, probably with the Villa players being out, I'd look at a free hit. But it's a long old season, and so I'll be keeping that.
I tell you what, you've done quite well actually last year. You got 2,278 points. And your overall rank was inside the 80,000. You happy with that?
Well, I didn't know that yet, but that was decent.
Don't even check it yourself.
I wish I had the same luck this season, but it's just been a case of everything. Like Salah missing with COVID, Zaha with COVID, just killing game weeks. I had Trent to start off with. Obviously, Liverpool didn't get off to the best start. Swapped him to Virgil van Dijk. That game, he got injured. Swapped him then to Robbo. He then got injured. So it's just been a bad season. It's just one of them.
Call it off.
Yeah.
Still plenty of time, mate. Plenty of time, don't worry.
Cheers, Tony. Thank you, mate.
That's what Tony's hoping for, around here. Plenty of time.
No, I don't need that.
And just to bring up Ryan's point, Sterling, I've spoke many texts about him saying, "Are you keeping him this week? Getting rid?" And I've had him from game week 6 onwards, and he's obviously less than 5% ownership. So I thought a bit of a differential. Good fixtures coming up. Kept him for the Burnley game. Didn't come on, and I think from game week 6 onwards, he's picked up 7 points altogether. Yeah, which that's like 5 game weeks.
That's poor.
Yeah. So he's gone anyway. I'm sick of him.
Well, what do you think then? Obviously, the debate was Sterling on De Bruyne. Obviously, Mahrez shown it last week. Do you think the answer's Mahrez? Cheaper, can potentially get big hauls.
Yeah, I mean, Mahrez is a brilliant player, and he showed that for many seasons. But I think it's just, for me, it's Sterling or KDB. KDB for me is just set. He's got pens. Do you reckon he'll keep them when Aguero comes back, or?
I think so. He missed his last one, didn't he? But
he did, yeah.
Before that, he was quite comfortable. He did score a few, though, didn't he? I mean, I don't know. He might have scored maybe 4 before he missed one. But yeah, I think with the Mahrez, I think it's also a case of like rotation. I know he is capable of scoring a lot of goals and things like that. But you got Torres, who's in. He's playing quite well at the minute as well. Obviously, Sterling's a bit out of form, and then Jesus and Aguero sort of coming back. It is a bit of rotation risk, so I think De Bruyne is just your safe bet. He's more or less likely to play.
Yeah.
Near enough
I think
game unless maybe Champions League is like saving himself for that or something like that.
I was worried that he might get dropped this week, but since he didn't play Champions League, I think he's got to play, surely.
Yeah. I think the issue with City is they've just got so many wingers and like them sort of outside forwards. They could play like 3 sets of them. They've got that many.
Yeah.
So I think KDB down the middle, he sort of makes them tick, doesn't he? So I think he's more set. Penners is always nice. So probably KDB.
Mahrez he didn't even play midweek as well, so that's where you just expect him that he'll well, you expect it. You never know with Pep Roulette, do you?
No, you
never know, but you expect Mahrez.
All right. Okay, Toby. Every guest we get on, we do this inside the manager's minds, just to get a bit of insight of what your mindset is like as a FPL manager. So just, don't have to think about them, just answer them quickly. Okay. Yeah. Do you trust the players or risk it and take the -4 points hit?
Skip that answer. I think we know what I do. -4s everywhere, -12s, -20s. I've done it all this season.
Right.
Yeah.
Captaincy, easy fixtures or better form?
Fixtures, I'd say. I've brought in Zaha, obviously, when they had a nice run of greens. So, I'd probably say fixtures.
Okay. Defence, do you pick them on clean sheet potential or attacking returns?
Most of mine are wing backs, I think, so probably attacking returns, really, with Walker Peters being obviously in a team that are going to concede a few more goals. But I think they've done all right, to be fair, Southampton. So, attacking returns, I'd say.
Right, okay. Pick one player, Bruno, De Bruyne or Son?
Well, it's funny you say that because he's the only one I don't have, and I'd pick Bruno. I just don't know how to get him in my team. He's that player this week, especially. He just seems to be doing something, doesn't he?
Yeah. It all goes to him, doesn't it?
Mm.
Okay. Do you get the informed players like everyone else, or do you try and find a hidden gem?
I guess trying to find the hidden gems, really. I'm trying to massively beat the price rises all the time, which I stupidly do. But just even like Kevin De Bruyne, bringing him in early, I think he's boosted up straight away and might go up again. Try to bring them early and get some, find the little gems, really.
Yeah, that's fine. And so who's been your favourite player in the past, like a Hall of Fame type player? So Liam Taylor, you said Marcus Alonso. Who was you?
Speaking just primarily off last year, I loved Jimenez. I don't know why.
Right.
I just enjoyed watching them because I had him and Jota, and they just seemed to work. And obviously Jota was in midfield. Jimenez, was he strike? Yeah, he was midfield, I think, last year. But them two were just brilliant. Just really, really worked well. So I'd say those two are good.
Right. Last question: who will finish higher in the league, Toby Millward or Ron Coyle?
Well, I've actually got a £50 bet on this as well.
All right.
I shook hands on this in the Scruffy Duck.
Too much Windows process, lads.
Too much drink going through there, I think.
I'm gonna say me. I'm gonna say me.
Confident.
So, who's higher at the moment? I think he's gone.
Going here.
Right. Anyway, moving on. Tony's team here. Here we go. Do you want to read that out? Tell us how it went for this week. You had a bit of a lost weekend because we didn't hear from you from Saturday or Sunday. And you told us you just forgot about it.
It was a very therapeutic weekend for me. I threw the game so I could get my midfield. This is the team. It was Ryan and Goal with 2 points, Bellerin with 0, Justin 1, Kilman 1, Captain Salah 12, KDB 10, Son 3, ZH 2, Fernandez 10, IU 2, DCL 2. So I took a -8, which is as good as throwing the game. I know Chan managed to come back from it the other week, but that's extremely lucky.
That's for extremely good managers, that is.
Oh, shut up. Right. And anyway. But so when the game week started, I actually was throwing a lifeline with Salah. Both my opponents didn't have him, and I always captained him, so I thought, hang on, if he can get 2 goals here, I could actually end up winning this week. he came off after 60 minutes. He had a goal disallowed and he got an assist on world beater Jota that everyone goes on about. So as soon as that game ended, it was as good as over in both leagues for me. The only other thing that could have really changed is Kevin De Bruyne when he hit the post, following like he had his assists already. He hit the post. If that was a goal, maybe it might have been different in the Pride League, but there wasn't much else that went on for me. This game week coming up, however, I'm going to be a lot more into it, and if it doesn't go well, you can see me doing a Ryan next week on my podcast.
Get in. That's what we want.
So, is that your team set then for next week? No transfers this week?
No, I don't need to. Like, obviously, I was on about doing the Wilson striker, but I'm not going to do it because he's not in. And the Tammy option, I'm got to at least have one game week with the team I've spent 4 weeks trying to build, having I can't change before they even land.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Sometimes like you have one bad week and you think of blowing it all up and blowing your plans up.
Yeah.
Just
like
even
if my midfield each player got a goal, which is all capable of, like Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Son, Ziyech, and Fernandes, that'd be like over like 60 points just off my midfield.
Yeah,
it's got potential. We'll see what happens. Maybe I've just got big eyes and big ambitions. I don't know, but we'll see.
I do like that team, Tony, because I was doing the 3-5-2 myself with a sort of packed midfield, and I was looking at the sort of top 1,000 players. And over time, they've went from like 3-5-2 to like a 3-4-3, but now they're starting to edge back to a 3-5-2.
I love the 5 midfielders if you can.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's plenty of points to pick up there, and they're all focal points of the team. So yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad we agree. We're getting on me and you, aren't we?
Yeah. However, I'm still unsure on that. Andre Ayew minders.
Hoping no one's seen
no
that.
friends anymore.
I have to blur that bit out.
Gordon,
blur that bit out on my screen. I'll blur that bit out.
I was just about to say, running up for Tyne, you can piss right off.
Right. Moving on, obviously, under my team, I had an average week, to be honest. 47. I can't even be bothered to go through my team, to be honest. But I'll just say Bruno and De Bruyne, they were the only two. Everyone else picked up 2. But saying that, I guess I won both games in both leagues, so very happy with that. I was quite confident. I was quite calm like through the whole Saturday, Sunday once Bruno had scored. A few things, quite disappointed with the defence. I thought one of them, maybe 2, would have got a clean sheet. Justin at home at Fulham, even Kufal at Villa, and Robertson against Brighton. But can't complain. 3rd place in the Stanhope Cup, so I'm like best of the rest at the moment, trying to chase Ainsley and Liam Taylor. Plans for next week, though, game week 11, I think, got to be De Bruyne captain against Fulham. I've brought Diaz in now against Fulham. That should be a clean sheet. And I couldn't get Lookman anymore because Jorginho's price went down, so I've had to go for Big Thomas Souček.
Yes. It's not going to be a clean sheet for City, man.
No, but I've got a bit of luck, actually, good fortune with this Newcastle Villa game, is that they're a bit in trouble. Like, Dave's got no keeper. He's got Tyrone Mings and Jamal Lewis out. And he's got Size on the bench who might not play. And then Jakey's also got like a double Villa defence, Alisson and Pope out, and no Watkins. So with me having no Villa Newcastle, don't have to change a thing.
The luck you get.
I think I need,
isn't it? The luck you get.
I need one of your lucky garlics. That's what I need.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'll tell you what it is.
Go and spare.
I haven't lost the game since.
I'm going to say.
I
haven't. Have to start raiding the old fridge in a bit.
You need a good luck charm.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit of the Stanhope Cup, as you can see. Liam Taylor won 4 games in a row, now 1st in points rank and 2nd in the league. He's a fact for you, actually. Myself, I've always been the 2nd highest points rank without ever taking number 1 spot in 10 weeks.
Got some work to do then, haven't you?
Manager of the month, Liam Taylor, of course. Obviously, if you want to read it, have a pause through that. And then it's got to be Cali, hasn't it, for the Rudy Gestead Awards?
Yeah.
Lost all 3, only 119 points.
Still a lad.
Hey, that's son, Rudy Gestead for you. It's downstairs.
No, that's fine. And go on.
I was going to say, did anyone see about Klopp moaning at Des Kelly about fixtures and whatnot?
I did actually, yeah. It's funny that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've been doing a bit of research.
Oh,
And
nice.
what
Oh,
I've
yeah.
found, I'll just jump in quick. Sorry, Matty.
That's
So
all right.
over the next couple of game weeks in December, the team with the longest period of breaks between the games on average is West Ham. So obviously with Antonio being back, obviously you mentioned Cresswell before, it might be a team worth looking at bringing in. Obviously they do play, both of them play Man U and Chelsea, but obviously they're playing Champions League and whatnot, so they might have to play weekend sides. So there's a couple of people you might want to bring in.
Yeah,
and then
like
second
with Bowen,
in
mate, with that West Ham, like you're saying, sorry to interrupt you, like Antonio, that's an extra link-up player for Bowen, do you know what I mean? And Bowen's in form anyway, so
Yeah.
it's an extra excuse to get Bowen in that.
Yeah, and then the second team with the longest period of time, recovery period, it's Leeds. And did anyone see the Leeds Everton game? That Rafinha looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was very sharp.
Yeah.
He looked sharp,
Some
didn't
good
he?
passes as well to Harrison. Should have got an assist.
Yeah. So I've just been looking at that.
Yeah,
So
cheers for that.
I've been doing my homework.
Yeah, cheers for that.
Well,
Two sides of A4 there, wasn't there?
Hey,
More than
Yeah.
these two.
More than
You
enough.
are you're set to impress. You're going to put me Ryan out of job.
Yeah.
Be surprised if you put your CV under his door tomorrow.
Yeah, tell you what, Toby. Andy CV in. We'll have an interview.
oh, I will. I can see it already. Toby for Tony. Switch it straight out. There we go. Easy as that.
Get him.
I'll take you and your mate there behind you there.
Viking? It might take me. Can't take him.
But yeah,
Right,
that was my homework for the week.
No, well, look, thank you very much, Toby, for coming on. Like we say, we've just got a spare minute now, so if you could follow Everyday Plays FPL on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. Please give us a like and follow. Gentlemen, thanks a lot. Toby, thanks a lot.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Enjoyed
Toby.
that.
Cheers.
See you later.
later.
Bye.
See you later on.